Hi everyone, this is quarantine day 22, I think, yeah. Just self-distancing from each other, of course, and wearing masks when we go to the grocery store or stuff like that. So yeah, we're at home in the backyard, and thought we had fun today. Some of you might know, as of course you've seen some other videos of toy stuff that I get into and collect. So I thought I'd share one of my collections is my wrestling figure collection. So we'll go down to the workshop and we'll check it out real quick. Now, some of you may have been in the shop before when I try on masks or costume stuff and some of the projects I have going on with my cosplay and costuming gear. But I do have a couple of toys in here too. I'm a big Lord of the Rings collector as well. I'll show you that collection eventually as well. And Star Wars, of course. Got a pretty huge collection of that. A lot of it's in storage. I've got another storage facility next to the workshop. So yeah, let's just do a quick little run over on some of the wrestling figures I have. Most of them are Jakks. There's some Mattel in there too. But yeah, I've had fun lately. A lot of it's just out of nostalgia because growing up watching wrestling back in the 70s and 80s. So a lot of the figures will be mostly ones that I knew from that period. Still looking for other ones. And there are some newer, the 90s and early 2000s. I've enjoyed some of those characters they had in WWE and WCW. So let's see what we got here. So this is my collection here of figures from wrestling. We'll kind of do a quick little run over here of all of them too. So yeah, and they're mixed together from different periods as well. So of course, like Roddy Piper, Bob Orton, which were a great tag team back in the day with WWE, which was WWF back in the day. Kurt Angle, I like Kurt Angle. He's from what I understand, I've never met him personally, but from what I understand, he's actually an awesome guy, and he's a very, very hard worker when it comes to, he's dedicated to his job. And I like hearing things like that about these guys that are just 100%, 150%. They give everything. Of course, you got Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, and some of the other incarnations here of Mick here. Of course, Iron Sheik, and this right here is Sergeant Slaughter. Of course, I need to find the hat for Sergeant, but if you notice the boots, they're like Iron Sheik. This is when he had joined up with Iron Sheik, kind of betrayed the American flag and all his fans and kind of turned heel on everybody. So that was cool, though. He did make a great heel as well. Of course, there's current Rick. Of course, we got Superstar Billy Graham back in the day, and then, of course, Superstar now. Great looking pink suit there. Of course, I got a different variations of Ric Flair, the Nate here. And so the different versions of Rick through the years. And here he is back here. I've got to get a Steamboat because both Steamboat and Flair had some of the best matches back in the day. You used to go see them at the Coliseum here where I live. Of course, you get different versions of Bret Hart here. Anvil, God bless him. Anvil was awesome. Another version of Bret Hart and Anvil right back there. But yeah, and Ted DiBiase. I enjoyed Ted DiBiase back in the day. Even when he was younger too, he was a great heel with Georgia Championship Wrestling. Of course, you get The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and there's Zack Ryder. I watch a lot of his podcasts and his he's like the ultimate collector when it comes to these figures. He's got like every version and all the variants and all the different, I guess they call him Chase, which is like a variant of different figures. But he collects like everything wrestling, toy-wise. And of course, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. You got Jake the Snake here. You got Steve Austin. You got Razor Ramon. A couple of versions of Razor there. I really like this one. His colorful days. We wore the bright colors. Of course, you've got there's Shawn Michaels right there, and there's Lex back here in the back. Of course, Mr. Perfect and Brian Pillman, which I really enjoyed him. It's just, he had such a short life. Both of them, actually, Kurt Hennig and him, died way too young. There's Paige. I enjoyed her movie. That's one reason I really like her. Kind of a someone who came out of nowhere and pretty much blew everybody away. And of course, here's Rick with the belt, and Charlotte, his daughter. And there's Magnum. And Magnum's career was, of course, cut short because of his car accident. And that actually happened not too far from where I live, in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, yeah, that happened on a... and I know exactly where he left from. I think it was from Bennigan's, which I used to go, and I would meet a lot of these guys there. A lot of these wrestlers would hang out at Bennigan's in Charlotte. And I met Rick and the Horseman there quite a few times. I got a few beers from Rick and those guys, because there's Arn Anderson, which is a great figure. Bobby Heenan, R-Truth here, he's from Charlotte. And then there's Paul Bearer here, and Kane. And then, of course, Undertaker, Sid, which I knew him as Sid Vicious, and I think he became Sid Justice. And here are these guys here. Oh, God. And they were a part of the Generation X group. And then, of course, you got the Giant, Andre, John Studd. He died young, too. Of course, another variant of Undertaker. And, of course, you got Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. And then you've got the Scarecrow days of Sting. Another Jake the Snake here. Of course, you got Edge. You got Benoit. Of course, we know the story of Benoit. Benoit and Guerrero were close friends. And also Chris Jericho, which is here. These three guys were pretty much traveled together. They were together for a long time in different promotional groups. Of course, here's Arn here, and then you got Shawn Michaels, and of course Triple H, and I got another version of Triple here, because he was also, which I liked his character, was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, of course, Triple H. And then we've got Edge here and Christian together. So, and I've got a bunch of different variations of Macho Man. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. Good guy, hard worker, of course. And you got Rick Rude. You got two variations of Rick, and Honky Tonk Man. And then you got the Bushwhackers in the back there, Junkyard Dog. And you got some of the other figures, Matt Hardy, Dude Love, Kurt Hawkins, which Kurt was Zack Ryder a lot. Of course, another variation of Undertaker with the cane mask. And of course, Bret Hart here, elite figure. So yeah, I got a bunch of the Hardy Boys here. So there's a bunch of different ones I have. And there's a few more I want to get, of course. I want to get the Road Warriors. Don't have them yet. I want to get Tugboat and Earthquake and the Samoans. So, yeah, this is a really cool figure. I love this one of Stone Cold. Is one of the better ones, because he's got his vest on. Then I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, he's got the bracers on too, I believe, on there. So it's not a huge collection, of course, but I just enjoy the nostalgia of all these figures. A lot of them are well done. A lot of these, of course, are scanned too, like laser scanned. I didn't want to invest a ton of money in these guys, but they're just a lot of fun to have. Brings back a lot of memories, a lot of nostalgia of growing up with these guys and watching them. Of course, you got Paul Orndorff right there. And there's so many different versions too. There's another $1 Million Man behind Roddy Piper. I've got to get Roddy's kilt. I need to get that. And they have there's guys on eBay that do sell the accessories. So if you don't have the accessories, like the belts or the coats or the shirts, sunglasses and stuff like that these guys wore, there's guys who sell those separately, so you can get those and get a complete figure as well. Like with Brutus the Barber Beefcake, you would get the clippers that he would carry around, the hedge clippers that he would have too. But it's been fun collecting these guys and finding them. I find them a lot in flea market locations and go through their bins, but they're a lot of fun to just to have. Plus, they're great to decorate. This is my workshop, so. And like I said, we'll go over some of my other collections as well. But I just thought it'd be fun to do that, kind of show you what I got here with these guys. But yeah, then I've got a bunch of different variants of. I need to get the Slim Jim version of Macho Man too. Got Junkyard Dog. Yeah, I really enjoyed Junkyard Dog. He was an awesome character. And but yeah, these I've been watching a lot of the YouTube, the old Georgia Championship and Florida Championship wrestling on YouTube. Somebody's like got all the recordings, so you can find them on there. It's fun to watch them. And some are real cheesy, but at the same time, it's some of the best wrestling stories and characters. And there's Hacksaw Jim Duggan right there, and of course they get the Giant here, which is the same size as Rick. But it's actually a pretty cool likeness of Paul White, who's the Big Show. So, which he later became Big Show. And there's back there smiling right next to some of the other giants. Sid, Andre, John Studd. I don't think they make a Stan Hansen figure. I don't think I've seen one. I wish they would make a masked superstar figure. Bill Eadie, who became part of Demolition, Axe and Smash. I wish they would make one of his figures. That would be really cool to see the Masked Superstar figure come out. And because he had so many different variations and different colors as well. He had the black, the grays, the reds, the purple. He had every variation of colors of his costume. You could do so many different chases with him too. And I can guarantee you, the Masked Superstar and the Destroyer, the Spoiler, those guys would be awesome figures. I wish they would produce those. That would be awesome. But yeah, this is my collection here. Here's Zack Ryder, the Michael Jordan of collecting. And it's a small, like I said, it's a small collection of these figures. And I only get pretty much the ones I really enjoyed. I don't want to buy every figure. So if you're thinking about collecting these guys, just collect what you like. Just things that brought back memories to you if you watched wrestling back in the day. And a lot of the new guys I don't know most of them. I don't know their storyline. There's so many different ones. I need to get Dusty Rhodes. I definitely need to get Dusty Rhodes as a part of this collection. Road Warriors, Dusty Rhodes, those guys would definitely be a great addition. So I need to get him. But yeah, this is it, guys. Thought I'd share it with you. And but you guys take care during this stay-at-home time with this crazy COVID-19. And yeah, these guys aren't practicing the self-distancing, so I hope they don't have anything. I just hope I don't come in here one day and they're just skeletons. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be good. So yeah, but I need Hulk Hogan too. I need the Hulkster from this Prime, the yellow and red. I've got him back here, one of his figures here in his NWO. NWO was fun to watch, but I think it ran too long. That's just my opinion. I think the gimmick ran way too long. But they were fun when they first came out. First couple of years, man. NWO, Scott, Kevin Nash were awesome. I need to get Tupac or Six Pack, whatever his name is. 1, 2, 3 Kid figure as well. He was fun to watch. I need to get Hurricane too. So those guys were some of the first acrobatics were done by those guys back in the day, going crazy. And Rey Mysterio too. I don't have a Rey Mysterio. I probably need to get him added to this as well. Some of the back in the day, those guys were phenomenal. Some of the stunts they would do. And I think, me personally, the Greg the Hammer Valentine figure is coming out, the new one. I definitely need to get that because Greg the Hammer and Rick were an awesome tag team back in the 70s. Love watching those guys. And that was around the time that Roddy Piper started coming into the scene too. I can't remember if he started as a babyface and then became heel pretty quick. But yeah, Mick Foley is awesome. I enjoyed his books. If you haven't read any of his books, him and I need to get Jerry the King Lawler too. Jerry the King Lawler and Mick Foley did a Christmas book, so I need to get a hold of that too. Jerry the King Lawler did the graphics, the animation in the book. And Mick Foley, he wrote all his books pretty much longhand. So not on a computer or anything, he just all longhand, and he did a great job. Fun books to read. If you ever have a chance to read his biography and what he went through to become where he's at today, definitely pick it up. DiBiase has a documentary out on him. They haven't done one on. I'm sorry, they haven't done one on Rick yet. They should do one of those. And they have Ultimate Warrior. One of my favorite characters of all time in wrestling was that guy right there, the Undertaker. Amazing gimmick that he had. It was, he just stayed in character the entire time. That straight face, when he did the arms and then rain, all the flames would come up, and just like Kane, both those guys were a great team, a great storyline. Really enjoyed the Undertaker. There's another one of my Ultimate Warriors. Eddie Guerrero. Eddie was great. Benoit, of course, had a tragic and just really an unforgivable thing, of course, But I just remember him from the day when he was wrestling. He was phenomenal, and it's just a part of our memories, and that's the only reason I really have the figure too. And it's well done. I mean, it looks like Benoit. So, but tragic ending to his career and to his life and what he had done. But other than that, yeah, a lot of memories here with these guys and watching them when we were growing up. And when I was a kid, we used to do the stunts and stuff. I'm sure you guys probably did it too growing up, where you do the wrestling moves and stupid stuff like that, and you imagined yourself being a wrestler when you get older. But I look back now, I'm happy I didn't, because a lot of these guys are just like football players. Anything really, impactful or, damage your body over time. When they said it was fake, no, it wasn't fake, folks. I mean, there were storylines. Most of these guys were buddies and friends and drinking buddies. The stunts they did were incredible. I mean, their bodies got beat up pretty bad. So, yeah, there wasn't really anything fake about it. Yeah, they're going to sit there and punch each other in the face. But just the high flying, falling on the concrete, missing the pads. If you fell wrong and hit something wrong, yeah, you're in big trouble. You're going to have some problems. So a lot of these guys that did that, some of them did either lost their life, like Owen Hart, for instance. If you land wrong, hit wrong, if something goes awry, you guys that broke their neck, like, for instance, Rick Rude, pretty much the way he landed, I mean, he broke his neck, and that was it. His career was done. So, yeah, it's just little things like that. They put a lot of time and effort in getting in shape, but at the same time, all it takes is that one false move to end it all. So, yeah, these guys, I love watching them. I knew what they were going through. I met a lot of these guys growing up, and then I look back and I see them if I go to a convention or I see them on television. Yeah, all that hard work and all those times they were on stage, that was their stage, was the ring. They put in 150% to entertain us, and a lot of these guys paid for it in the end and are paying for it now. Some of these guys are just physically, their bodies are just worn out. But that's my collection. You heard me gabbing away. So, but yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe. And I'll show you some other stuff that I have too, other collections I have. But this is probably one of my smaller ones, is the WWF, WCW, NWA, Georgia Championship Wrestling, Florida Championship Wrestling figures that I have. So I hope there's a lot of figures I still need that I grew up with. will eventually get those. So please subscribe. You guys take care. Remember to distance yourself for now. Things will get back to normal, guys. Things will get back to normal. We can go watch wrestling again in the Coliseums and the Big Show. All that stuff. So you guys take care. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I'm the Macho Man, Randy Savage. I'm styling and profiling. I'm the Nature Boy. Woo!